Hello everyone, this is Ali. In this video, I'm focusing on highlights related to the corrosion in nuclear waste that might be interesting for you. Particularly, I will talk about the Nuclear Waste Management Organization (NWMO) plan. Corrosion of the materials used to contain the waste makes the disposal plan of the waste so challenging. Over time, any materials used for burial will corrode, which leads to the release of radioactive substances. The following examples here shows how nuclear waste management significantly has the capacity to impact the environment and human health. The Astu mine is a former salt mine in Germany where around 47,000 cubic meters of low and intermediate level radioactive waste are stored deep underground in a former mining chambers. Unfortunately, it is now determined that the mine is unstable and subject to the inflow of saline water, and the waste must be recovered from the ash mine, and then the mine must be decommissioned. However, it is not safe enough to decommission the mine with the waste left in a place. Currently, the nuclear fuel is placed in a water-filled pool where its heat and radioactivity decrease, and after 7 to 10 years, the bundles are placed in dry storage containers or silos. As it's difficult to store them in silos for 1 million years underground, NWMO designed a multi-barrier system to safely and permanently use fuel in used fuel containers (UFCs) for durations extending into millions of years underground, which is called a Deep Geological Repository (DGR). As you can see here, the UFCs are able to withstand mechanical and hydrostatic pressures of up to 45 megapascal, which is a glacial design load. Here there is a list of acts that should be considered to realize the environmental assessment of the safe storage of used nuclear fuel. The Canadian Environmental Protection Act, the Species at Risk Act, the Nuclear Safety and Control Act of Canada, and also the proposed digital site will be subjected to an integrated assessment process by the new Impact Assessment Act, which mandates an examination not only of environmental impacts but also of social and economic impacts. From the outset, according to the Adaptive Phase Management Plan, NWO made it clear that they look to identify a site that is technically adequate and has strong local support. From 2010 to 2022, the NWMO declined the potential sites and host communities from a starting number of 22 to 2, one in northern Ontario and another in southern Ontario, each with distinct geological settings and different social and economic landscapes. And also, it is worth noting that hosting a DGR could bring significant benefits to the host communities. For instance, both communities could potentially have a more stable and long-lasting source of economic activity for decades to come by hosting a nuclear waste repository. Regarding the social perspective, the NWMO has emphasized that even if local townships support their plans, they will not proceed without the consent of the indigenous communities. Moreover, NWMO should ensure that the host community is informed prior to expressing consent, and realizing whether a community is fully informed about the technically complex proposal is a difficult task. Also, the Government of Canada has an obligation to consult with Indigenous communities before taking any action that could potentially affect their traditional. To sum up, the disposal of nuclear waste is a demanding topic, and any failure in the storage methods can potentially lead to the release of radioactive materials into the environment. The NWMO plan involves a wide range of people from diverse groups such as the Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission, NWMO scientists, workers, and Indigenous people. Furthermore, the challenge belongs to a very unusual time frame. Multi-generations people will be involved. Also, there are several acts that should be considered to select a suitable site for DGR. And furthermore, the indigenous people must receive consultation and awareness before expressing their consent. Therefore, there is a clear process to ensure engagement with First Nations is not simply a box-checking exercise in Canada. If you would like to get more information, you can read my report. Thank you for your attention.